There we go. And welcome to the first teacher talk of the year. Zach, you want to say some words?
Yeah, so good evening, everybody. I'm Zach Garrett. I teach what y'all teach at Riverside Military Academy. Forgive me, I'm still in my classroom. Don't judge me, but we're a boarding school, so I can only really meet with my team collectively at night. So I sacrifice one night a week to meet with them. So they're in the other room. So if I have to pop off, I'm gonna, y'all know how it is. It's like whack-a-mole in this class, so you gotta handle it in that way. But I'm so happy y'all are here. Omar and I are here to help. That's our main mission with all of this. We're here to help you all in your classrooms and to hopefully come together as an organization and to network and to really the secret sauce of STN is the networking, right? And the impact it has on our students. And so I think we're here just to guide you through that process. So whether you've been here for a while or this is your first year in STN, we'd love to help you out. That welcome letter we sent out today has both of our contact numbers on it. So if you ever need to text us, call us, please feel free to do so. And we will help you out any way we can. But I think Omar's going to go ahead and start with the agenda part.
Yeah, before that, I want to introduce our executive, Sherry.
Yes.
She's the one that helps keeps STN running. So Sherry.
Just kidding. I was trying to hide. Oh, I'm Sherry Stilson, the executive director. I've now made it through 1 year. So if you're a new affiliate, I'm in a similar boat to you, but I'm happy to be here, still learning, still excited by the passion that all you teachers and students show, and looking forward to another great year ahead. It's going to be different. It's not even already exactly what we were expecting, but we have new programming coming your way, new resources, and even the committees. So this one right here is one of the many that we have. So I'm so thankful to Omar and Zach for taking that on. We also are going to have a college and alumni committee, a fundraising committee, convention. So there's a lot happening. And my email is just sherry@studenttelevision.com. You're also welcome to reach out to me at any time. I'm pretty casual. I'm serious when I need to be, but I'm a people person. So I see a lot of faces I don't recognize. So please don't hesitate to reach out with a call or an email and let me know how I can assist you guys. But it's going to be a great year.
So before we get started, I just wanted to share something. I saw this today and I thought it's perfect for what we do. So if you give me 1 second, I'm going to share a little video here with you guys.
If 3 years ago, when I was asked this question, what degree gives you the highest chance of success in a career? Number one would have been engineering, number two, engineering, number three, engineering. And generally, it's the graduating cohort of engineers, and about a third of those classes go on to take their ideas, turn them into patents, turn them into businesses. But I've changed my mind in the last 2 years, and I'll tell you why, Evan. Since the pandemic hit, the number one demand I have for my companies are people that can take the concept of the business and tell a story about it. Produce a video, do really rich photography, build out 59-second, 39-second, 29-second videos, 14-second videos to plaster all over social media to sell product direct to customer. So if you're a graduate from the arts, or you're a writer, or you're a photographer, or an editor, or videographer, all of a sudden I'm paying you $150,000. And I would have thought I could have hired you for nothing because you were a starving artist.
How great is that? Right? This is what we do.
I'm changing jobs, Omar.
I know.
This is what we do, right? I mean, I can't tell you how many of our graduates are like, yeah, I'm working for political coding websites for journalism. And they gave me an $80,000 bonus, signing bonus. I was like, man, I picked the wrong career, and they learn these skills in our classes. And every single time I like to say the kids that survived the 4 years of CCNN, they come back and they're like, you taught me so much more than just TV, AV, production. You taught me how to be an entrepreneur, to communicate, to talk to people the correct way. And that's what you're doing. That's why we're here. That's why we are on a Tuesday night joining a Zoom to see how we can get better for our students. And Zach and I want to help you guys. Don't hesitate. Send a text, an email, and I mean, I try my best to represent STN. I know Zach does as well, but I'm going to give you my personal experience and my personal feelings on whatever matter you ask me about. And I know Zach is going to be the same because we're teachers. You know, we're not. I mean, we are helping out STN, but at the end of the day, I just don't want anyone to feel alone out there. I know that sometimes in a lot smaller cities, you might be the only TV program in your whole district. You know, and you're like, who do I talk to about this kind of stuff? That's what we're here for. And the network grows. If you're looking for mentorship, if you're looking for just a TV family, please reach out. And if I'm not your cup of tea and Zach's not your cup of tea, we'll find someone to help you. So you're not alone. So you feel supported. So you feel like you can accomplish things that you didn't think you accomplished before.
I want to mention on that what I've seen in the last year is our network grow. We have almost 400 teachers that were involved last year, and we're hoping to grow that. But the ones that find a community seem to thrive. So we want to provide that. And the staff is still here. Me, Shonda, and Josh are your main staff, but we want to reach out to this network of resources so we don't have to do it all. And then we can focus on other things for you. But there's opportunity to get involved and work together to empower those future storytellers. So don't feel like we're stepping back. It means actually we have wings to fly a bit further. And so if there's ever a way you want to get involved, don't hesitate. There's just a lot of opportunity. It's not big school, little school. It's not these people win more. If we want to change that culture, we're going to work together. It's not just contests. It's also education. It's programming. It's what you want it to be. So please have a voice, talk to them. And like he said, if they're not your cup of tea, we'll find you somebody. You're spicy, Omar, but I like it.
Yeah. Now listen, I'm a very polarizing human being. I know what the perception I give. People either love me or they hate me. There's no gray area. So I get it. But, you know, I'm going to try my best to make you guys all feel comfortable. Zach, you want to go into the next part of the agenda?
Yeah. So the favorite part of every class we start off every year is who are our people in our room. So we want to just very quickly, if you could, let's go around and just say, you know, who you are, what school you teach at, maybe how long you've been teaching, and is this your first year in STN or have you been here for a while? So we'll try to make it quick because I know we got a lot of people and we have a few things to cover. Looking at the order here, everybody's order is different. So you've already heard from Omar and I'm looking at this person that has local on their name, but it must be somebody down in South Florida because they don't follow any of the rules. So
I think that's
okay, let's do it.
all right. So I am Maria Molina. I've been teaching for 20 years. And out of those 20 years, I've been at American Heritage Broward campus. It's no longer Plantation campus. And I was handed a camera and I teach at a private school. And I was handed a camera and the gentleman who owns the private school said, can you teach this subject? And I said, sure, why not? And I've never taught that in my life. And so 15 years later, I created the program. I think it's a very good program. And that's what I do. And well, two of my best buddies are in here, you know, Omar and Christy, and I don't see the other ones, but and you know.
How long have you been in STN?
For 13 years, 14 years.
She brought me in.
So actually I put Omar in because, you know, he was sitting behind me somewhere at a conference and I turned around and he was talking too much and he was too loud. And I was like about to tell him to be quiet. And I said, do you know STN? And he's like, no. And I'm like, you should join. So.
Yep. So it's all her fault.
It's all my fault, guys. I'm sorry about that.
Matthew, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, I'm Matt Bender. I'm a teacher here at Hempfield School District, which is outside Lancaster, Pennsylvania. This is my 26th year teaching, 12th with STN. And I teach combination of science as well as the communication classes we have.
Cool. Awesome. Christy?
Well, I didn't think you would call on me, but thanks. I am Christy Insua. I also work at Columbus with Omar. We have had our program for the better part of 10 years now, plus already. It's grown a lot over the years. We are, like Maria, two people who, you know, I studied print journalism in college. Omar didn't study journalism at all. We just were kind of like thrown into this, and we said, okay, we're going to make something of it. And slowly but surely we did. And I guess because he's right next to me, here's my middle school home partner in crime.
I'm Carlos Gonzalez. I've been teaching now for about 29 years. I started like Maria, something small with an iPad, and eventually, you know, having a partner like Christina to guide me and show me the ropes. And we've been part of STN for 3 years now.
And he's part of Somerset Oaks Middle School. So yes. Dina.
Hi, Dina Tribal. I teach over at the Encinitas, the Grower School in Encinitas, California. It's in San Diego County. Been a member, been a member of STN at my school for 4 years now, and overall have participated since 2012. First one was in LA, which was like so awesome. It's been teaching for a total of like 7 years, but educator for like, I don't know, 15 years, something like that. But thanks for doing this, guys.
Mike, you're up next.
Hi, I'm Mike Scafadi. I teach at the Meadowbrook School, which is in Weston, Massachusetts, just outside Boston. We are an independent school. K-8, I teach middle schoolers 6 through 8. We've been doing film for probably 14 or 15 years, over 15 years. And about 4 years ago, with the help of my buddy Jeb Brunt over at Norwood High, got our broadcast program up and running. So that's what we do. I've been teaching, I think I've only been teaching, like 16 years or so. Previously in public relations, marketing, communications before I took on the teaching gig. And I do plays at the school. I make plays. We're doing The Empire Strikes Back right now.
Awesome.
True story.
Awesome. Joe Martin.
Yeah, my name's Joe Martin. I'm starting my 9th year of teaching. I taught 4 years right outside Nashville, then moved to California, and I'm in my 5th year here at Palm Desert High School in Palm Desert, California. And so yeah, we're a brand new program, pretty much started in a classroom, and then we took half the library and built a studio space using that. So and then joined STN last year. Didn't get too involved. We did one of the contests, but I didn't know enough about it, and plus in distance learning, I couldn't get kids to turn their cameras on, let alone volunteer to do a project. So hopefully this year we get more involved.
Awesome. Stu, you're up.
Hey, my name is Stu Stein from Belmore Merrick Broadcasting. We're out here on Long Island in New York. About 25 years ago, I was a film major. I then graduated, became a high school social studies teacher. And 6 years ago, my district started a magnet program for broadcasting. And I was the closest thing the district had to a broadcasting teacher. And so now we're in our 6th year of the program. We've got 80 kids. It's a 4-year major spread across each year. We got about 15, 20 kids per grade. And this is our 3rd year in STN. So we are the snake bit ones that brought on all the bad news because we were just getting ready to leave for DC when the world shut down.
Of course.
Oh, no.
Sorry about that.
Hope. Don't lose hope.
Paul, you're up.
Hi, Paul Tribal. Thank you. And I'm in Orange County, California, Rancho Santa Margarita, a middle school, and been doing that for 21 years and taught science in Guam for 5 years prior to that. It's all gone fast, and been with STN since 13. My wife is down there. She is. And yeah, we went to the LA convention at the time. It was, our eyes were just like, it was great. So I wanted to ask Joe really quick, if I could, is that a virtual set or is that an actual set that a physical set?
Oh, there's just a picture behind me, but I can switch and show you. This is our actual studio right here.
There you go. Awesome.
Nice.
Our control room and then the podcasting room.
Nice.
Very nice.
All right, Brian, you're up.
Hey, sorry, I'm in my car. I got to pick up my son from sports, but my name is Brian. I'm in Carmel, California. I'm a converted science teacher, so took over, just dabbled in video, got some kids, and then the program has sort of grown over the last about 12 years or so. So now I just do video and haven't taught science in several years. I've been in STN about 5 years and been to a couple conventions, but I haven't brought kids, and we were planning on it this year since it's in Long Beach, and hoping that works out. Though I can first time bringing kids down and compete in the contest.
That's
so
awesome.
Excited to be here.
Awesome, Brian. Elizabeth?
Hey, I teach audio video production in Lubbock ISD. Our program's been around since 1985. I've been teaching, I think this is my 7th year. My first STN convention was Atlanta. So I've been around for a while, but want to get more involved. So
Awesome. Thank you. Nathan, you're up.
So I'm Nathan Edgar. I actually teach with Elizabeth in LISD at Lubbock, Texas. I've been teaching for, I think, 5 years now. So my first convention, I think, was Nashville, I guess, was my first convention. Yeah, and just hoping we can get back to it this year.
Awesome. Thank you for joining. Daniel?
Hey, everybody. I'm the director of arts at a small private independent school in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Omar, I actually called you like years ago or emailed you because
University school?
That's right. I was starting a media production program. We were actually rebooting it after kind of several years it had fallen into decline. Most of our computers had broken down and stopped working. I actually only got interested in this world because we had a teacher who left kind of in April, and I needed to step in and finish out our productions. And so it was my quick crash course in AV. But Omar, you kind of put me on the track and connected me with several individuals who helped kind of get us together. That was maybe 5 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Since then, we've had several media production teachers. Unfortunately, we're looking for the one that stays. But throughout that process, I've become really good at audio visual stuff. And last year was the, during the kind of pandemic, did all of our live stream and video for our marketing department and program. So I've kind of earned my stripes, I think. But I'm trying to get more information. The program is really growing. We've got an engaged student body. We've got all the facilities and stuff. Just looking for that cohesion to make a team. And honestly, just to pay homage, Omar, I still, every time I have new students, I kind of tune them into CCNN and say, this is what we're trying to do.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the compliment. And, I'm glad you said what you said about building cohesion. We're going to talk about that a lot today. So we have a legend coming up next, Jim from Shortcuts. Maybe he's not on. Maybe he's on. I'm not sure.
Hold on. I'm sorry. I was doing something else. I was listening. I'm not, far from a legend, but hold on. See, look at this. The legend can't even work the machine. I'm just here to support the South Florida family. I'm actually a TV producer here in South Florida. 2 of the shows I produce involve high school students. One's a film show called Shortcuts, which is made up of high school films, and one is a broadcast journal called Broward T News. And I like to pop in on these things. I learn all the time from you guys. You guys inspire me every day. So just here to support. I'm out.
You guys should follow Shortcuts and Broward T News on Twitter and Instagram. You'll get a lot of ideas for your students.
100%.
Yeah.
You learn from all their students. Yeah, the kids learn from each other, which is what the whole purpose is, and kind of reward them for their hard work.
Absolutely. Thanks. Sanders?
Hello. I'm a former middle school teacher. I took some kids to STN in Seattle, and now I'm at a new high school with just 9th and 10th graders teaching AV1. So just here to learn.
Awesome. Thanks for joining us. Walter, you're up.
Hi, everyone. I just joined Danny in the arts program at the University School in Fort Lauderdale. And I am a TA, so I'm just sort of learning the ropes and hoping to step in and have some fun.
Awesome. Welcome. Scott.
Thank you.
Sorry, I'm driving home. Commute. I'm Scott Southard from Folsom, California, Folsom High School. I've been there for about 14 years doing broadcasting and filmmaking. Before that, I taught 8 years at a program that was developing radio, and our venerated video teacher left. Any of you who have been using Final Cut Pro for a long time might know the name Tom Walsky. He literally wrote the book for Final Cut Pro. He was our video teacher and he left. And so I just sort of got handed some equipment and some kids, and I've really loved it. And I've been a lurker in STN for a long time, but I've never sent my kids to do anything. So I'm looking forward to being more active.
Awesome, Scott. Thank you. Another legend here with us, Jamie Chauvin. Maybe there he is.
Not letting me turn my camera on. Oh, well.
All right.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, don't touch these computers for a while. Let's see. Jamie Chauvin. I am currently nowhere. 29 years teaching, STN for 11 or 12. We were the host school when I was a part of it. We were the host school for the Atlanta convention. So you may have seen me running around like a nutcase trying to make sure computers were up and running. But I'm calling this my retirement year.
Well, you're a legend, sir. You're a legend. So anything
we'll see what happens next year.
Thanks for joining us, Jamie. Vanya.
Hello, I'm from Canada, Burnaby South Secondary. We've been there for a while, like 17 years, with different with television program. But currently, we joined a few years ago to STN, and looking forward to learn a lot.
Awesome. Well, I think that's everyone, Zach. So the next thing on the agenda is why STN. I'm going to talk personally. I really enjoy the networking. I enjoy the family atmosphere. Zach and I became really good friends because he posted on Facebook, I need help. And I just DM'd him, call me, man, I can help you. And we've been talking for almost 2 years now, and his program has grown, and I love it. I love it because I show it to my kids and I'm like, you see, like people are out there getting better every day. You guys got to keep on getting better. I use STN as a motivational tool, right? I'm a firm believer that if you want to educate something, on a subject like this, you gotta relate it to the kids. You gotta make it, this can't be a lecture class. This can't be a book, a class that you read out of a book and you learn stuff. This is the kind of stuff that they gotta be doing stuff. And I personally love the networking. I love when my kids network, but I also like the contest because I kind of built my whole curriculum around the contest, because now my kids don't think they're just trying to get an A in our class. They're trying to be a national award winner. And, they're teenagers, so they don't realize they're learning while they're doing all this, and for them, it's switched from, it gamifies the classroom for them. It's not they're just trying to pass the class. They're trying to win an award. And I don't care how my kids learn as long as they're learning. That's my most important thing. Christy and I are always talking about, like, how can we trick these kids to learn how to do this? And then we'll be like, oh, there's a contest in this area. Let's tell them that they have to, win this contest. And then they will learn everything they possibly can. So that's how I use STN. Zach, I know it's a little bit different for you, but we're kind of similar backgrounds because we're all boys schools. But go ahead.
Yeah. My start in education, and I'm only, this is my sixth year teaching. And so I'm still relatively new at this, but my start was probably very similar to a lot of you all. when my school wanted to do a video production program, they handed me keys to this classroom and they said, all right, here you go. And I walked in 2016 to a lab full of Windows XP computers, old disk cameras, and one 2011 iMac. And that was it. And so we, of course, I felt like I was on an island because I was like, there's no other school that does what I do, And then when I joined these Facebook groups, there's a great one for Georgia, but the journalism teachers and the STN teacher talks, I've sort of stumbled upon these groups and then found STN, of course. And then I found a whole group of people that spoke my language, right? People that are here to support you. A lot of people here that I've met through STN or our Georgia Facebook group that we keep. But it's all about the networking for us. I'll tell you that STN has been the fire in my program. It really changed how my kids look at our show, how my kids look at what they do, because when they also got that same feeling I did when I found STN, when they got that same feeling of, oh, other students across the country do what we do. And then they start watching other schools and they start trying to figure out how to be better and how to get good. That's what STN helps us with. And of course, I know it's easy to focus on the awards. It's easy to focus on the contest. But of course, at the end of it, it's all about what the students get out of it. And they get out a lot more than just a plaque or recognition on a stage. They get that pride, they get the teamwork, they get all those essential skills that we all try to teach every day. And so it's just, STN has been a godsend for my program. And so I hope that you all, I know a lot of you are STN veterans in here, been in it as longer than I have. And I just hope that we all can connect together, learn from each other, and build this network to make it really work for us. Because at the end of the day, we're the ones in the studio. I'm still in my studio at 8:30 at night. We're the ones here putting all the energy in for these kids. And if STN helps us connect with one more student, I think it's worth it. And so that's what we're here for. And so again, use us as you need us. Please feel free to reach out.
I want to circle back to what Daniel said earlier. He was like, I'm still trying to figure out how to build that cohesiveness, that team atmosphere, the family atmosphere. I think that's one of the most important things that STN has done for our program. The curriculum that they offer, Christina and I probably use that every single week in our class. The lesson plans are a guide for us, like we'll see it and we'll tweak it our own way. But what I love is that for some reason, kids that join our program are sometimes the outcasts, the kids that didn't make the basketball team, the kid that maybe didn't want to be part of student government, stuff like that. And they join, and it's not, for them, it's not TV. They don't even want to become journalists. They just want to belong and be part of something. And sometimes the best work that Christina and I get are from those kids, the kids that just want to belong. They want to have a network. They want to, Christina and I have been invited to our former students' weddings, and their best men are a bunch of our CCNN kids that are standing up there with them, and that makes me so proud. So that's why STN, that's why I use it. And I hope you guys could use that as well, the same way.
Can
Yes.
I add something, Omar?
Yes.
This is Sherry. I had to switch because now I'm driving. I was trying to be cool like the rest of you that were in the car. I love the collaboration. So you're also going to see more of that this year, whether you're new or whether you've been around. We don't want anybody to feel isolated, and we think you can learn from other programs. Students can learn from other students. So don't forget that even right now, we have a new contest, a collaborative podcast that's open. And we haven't had tons of signups because it was early in the year and I know it's new, but I want to encourage you, even if you don't quite understand, if you have the ability to have access to a phone, they could record this and do it with Josh's guidance. Josh is our education coordinator. And right now it'll probably be your students would be paired up with one other school anywhere in the nation. So just right off the bat, a cool way to connect with another school. So registration for that is on the dashboard, and that closes this Friday. But you're going to see 5 collaborative or pop-up contests like that throughout the year. I can't give away all the details, but you'll see something again around Halloween and throughout the year. And how you guys mentioned that the contests often drive the students. I think that's awesome. And remember that whether they win or lose, we work hard to give professional feedback from
Yes.
industry professionals and people that have been out there judging it, giving pointers. So another thing we're going to do this year is, you may have seen an email from Josh that we're asking you, if you have any industry professionals that you would like to connect us with to be a judge. We don't have this secret staff of judges that has preconceived notions. If you have somebody, send them our way. We'd love to add them to the mix, and the more the merrier. So that's another thing I wanted to mention. And also Josh is working hard to tie lesson plans to contests. So you would have something you can use in the classroom, then they have a practical way to use it and show those skills. So we're trying to have everything tie together and basically make your life easier while making it fun for the kids.
Yeah, and I'm just glad you brought some of that stuff up, but we had someone join and I want him to introduce himself because he's actually a good friend of mine. Ty Cummings from Cypress Bay. You mind introducing yourself? Ty? All right, well, Ty will join us later on. I'm sure he's just listening in right now. Zach, you wanted to say something about why STN for you. Go ahead.
No, I said it. I was going to move on to contest.
Oh, okay, cool. All right, so the contest calendar is up, right? You guys can take a look. Oh, there's Ty. Is that Ty?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm live streaming a football game right now.
No problem. No problem. Thanks for joining us. We appreciate it. I'll give your introduction for you. Ty is a great teacher at Cypress Bay High School here in South Florida. His kids have won multiple Student Television Network awards, Suncoast Emmys. He's part of our little South Florida teacher chat, and he's probably the best dressed teacher. He's got the best kicks in the nation. So if you don't know, you better ask, because he's got him on right now for sure. There he is. There it is.
I love it.
All right, Ty. Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Hey, Omar.
Yes.
So I've got my screen ready to share. If you want
Go ahead.
to kind of talk through this, you got to enable it when I made you the chat it.
Oh, okay. You know what? I'll just make you. There you go. Now you're the host again.
Oh my goodness. Okay. All right. So we've got our contest calendar. So I want to just briefly show you really quick. Here's our, wonderful STN website. And I want to give props to Shonda and the team for really rebranding this over the summer and getting this up to speed. I think one of the first things that I got confused about in STN is what is all there for me? What is there for my students, and how do we organize it? And so they put a lot of time and effort over the summer to get it organized for us. And so just studenttelevision.com when you're there. And then if you hover over programs and contests, now you can see you've got all these different pieces about what are the different educational programs that STN offers. But if you go to contest, okay, you've got these really nice branded contest info boxes that you can kind of dive into and see what each of these contests do and like the parameters for them. But a great thing to like print out and put in your classroom is this right here, the 2021-2022 contest calendar. And this is it for the year, right? And so if you want to put something on your whiteboard or up on your wall or at your door in your classroom and tell your students, this is what we're working for. This is a national competition. And again, it's not about winning, it's about competing. It's about all working together as a team for a common goal. And it's a great way to break away from your traditional assignments or your video projects. It gives them something bigger to look forward to. And so the pop-up contests are what's new this year. They're pop-up projects, but they're smaller in nature, but they're there because the feedback last year was that the contests are so rich and so great for our students that we wanted more of them. And so it's an ability for us to give our students a chance to compete in different areas than just the traditional ones. And so I think Omar's got some things to talk about as far as challenge, because Sherry talked about the number one, which is the collaborative podcast, but the first big wave of contest comes with the fall challenge. And so Omar wanted to speak a little bit about that.
So challenge is starting in less than a month. October 13th, we're launching with the prompts. And what I love about this, it's the first contest that you can get your kids to actually start working and building the team atmosphere, right? And they added so many new categories this year that before it was only a limited amount of kids that would actually participate in our challenge. And now I have almost my whole program doing it. They have news package, they have feature package, they have sports package, PSA, commercials, brand new, a how-to video. They have a short film and music video. I mean, it's got a little bit for everybody. And it's a 5-day contest. It is, I mean, before COVID, my kids started a tradition that the day of the prompt that would drop, if you look at our Instagram, they wake up at 5 a.m. and they eat breakfast together at Denny's. And they're just talking about, I wonder what we're going to do. And Christina and I would pass by in the morning just to see them, and they were just so pumped because that was the start of their season. And all the stuff that we had done in September and October was leading to them. We're going to show you that we actually learned all this stuff. And it's awesome. It's such a great way to kick the year off. And I'm a firm believer is the more you prepare for these kind of things, the better you're going to do. So they're always asking me, give us a prompt and give us 5 days and we're going to do it for you. So, it's great because I love that the kids that they're motivated, they're motivating themselves because of this. Honestly, like to me, what's more valuable is the feedback and the fact that they're working together. But I'm like, yeah, man, you guys got to try your hardest to win first place. I just want them to learn and to grow. And challenge is coming right up. So it's sign-ups happening in about a week for it or two. And it's a real great way to start the year off. I'm telling you. Last year, Zach placed in PSA. He got first place in the country. And this is coming from somebody that was not allowed to leave his campus, and he was able to put it together and make a great PSA to win first place in the country. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, we worked hard on that. We had to set a fire. It was a fire prevention PSA, and we had to get our maintenance team to approve us setting a fire somewhere on the campus. So they said the only way we can set a fire is on a grill. So they burned like a grease patty that is formed under the grill, and they just my students loved it, and it was an amazing job. And what was cool about it was both of those kids that did that PSA were new to me. And so that's what's powerful about it. Is like then when those kids got that recognition, they were bought in.
So this kind of leads to the next thing. How do you use STN? I mean, we've been telling you how we've done it. Can anyone give me some examples of what you guys do with your programs and how you let STN guide you? And if you have any questions and how you want to get it better, maybe Zach and I or someone else here can answer. Yes, Paul.
And you kind of touched on this, and maybe everybody knows it, but that is every single contest is judged with like a narrative feedback. And that has been so invaluable for my kids. Just we read the comments together, we look at what we did, and the judges will say, man, you did great on this. You should have maybe done this. We're going like, oh yeah, of course, right? And so that has really been, like we can't unnecessarily all, get the place necessarily, but we all get that feedback, and it's just wonderful. I love that. That was one of the things that sold me on the contest from the get-go, was getting that feedback from the professional judges.
Absolutely. I mean, we tell our kids, no, you're doing this wrong. And you always have that one kid that's stubborn. Like, no, I think this looks better. But when someone else tells them, they're like, oh man, you're right, this and that. Sometimes I call Zach in and I'm like, hey, tear these kids apart. Because if they hear from you, they'll listen to it a little bit more. So, and we do it back and forth with each other too, because that's when they hear feedback from someone else, it really does make a difference to them. So you're absolutely right, Paul. I think that's the most valuable thing.
I've called Omar and told them to remount my sports production boys.
Yeah.
And they couldn't believe it. And then they were super upset, but they worked harder after Mr. Delgado yelled at them from CCNN. How embarrassing was that?
It wasn't a yelling. It was a firm voice, Maria. Come on. You're making me look bad.
Okay. Sure thing.
Anyone else? How they use STN? What do they do? I know there's some schools down in Homestead, Florida that do things differently. Stu, you raise your hand. Tell me up.
Yeah, similar to what Paul said, we've found a lot of your programs by looking at who's finished ahead of us in the contest, and it's given our kids a chance to see again what they need to be doing better. And so, even though we haven't been able to network with as much as we wanted the last 3 years, we've kind of been lurking and networking because we've watched anyone that places in a contest that we enter. We're on their YouTube pages, just watching what they're doing. It just makes us better.
Yeah, absolutely. And don't be afraid to reach out. I remember first starting off and I saw Doug Green in the corner and I was like, yo, that's Doug Green. And I didn't talk to him for like 3 years because I was like, that's the best teacher that does this in the country. That was my opinion, And then afterwards I just started talking to anybody because it just makes our community so much better. Carlos, you raise your hand.
Yes, for me, it's been a journey. I didn't plan to do this. I just started with an iPad during lunchtime for the kids, just to give them something extra to do. And from 4 years to now, to see the growth, to see their excitement, the community I work with, it's a little bit challenging where I'm at. And to be able to see the excitement in these kids, to show up at, an hour before school starts to get things done this year, for them wanting to get better, for them knowing, no, that's wrong. No, we need to do it this way. And for them to feel like they belong somewhere has been great for our school. So STN has been a part of that growth for our school, not only in a television or video production aspect, but just from a growth of the kids as students and as individuals, to give them an avenue that they could follow and have aspirations to go further in life.
Absolutely. And I want to throw something on there. If you have aspirations, I know so many teachers that started off as a TV production and gave it their all and actually saw some success, that ended up becoming administrators or guidance counselors, or like leaders in their own school, because they took something that nobody really thought about and made it into something huge. Okay, Carlos is one of them. He's one of them. Hopefully one day I get to be an administrator in my school. That's my plan, but I still haven't. I got too much gas in my tank left for this. But it's a career starter for a lot of people. So if you have aspirations and you could turn this program that you have into something bigger, use that. Use it as leverage with your administration. Because once they see the value of the stuff that we can provide, it's limitless.
Omar, I wanted to point them really quick to the welcome letter. So I'm just going to share it one more time. It was attached to the email that we sent out today about the teacher talk. I wanted just to scroll down here to the bottom. These are our phone numbers, like our personal cell phones in blue. And we might be crazy. I know Omar's crazy for a fact, probably certifiable, but we're both crazy, right? So here are our personal cell phones. If you want to ask us any questions, if you want to send us some of your kids' work, we are by no means experts. I don't know, CCN is pretty close to what the industry's doing, but we just give a different perspective, right? And so a lot of times I tell my kids, that this industry is all subjective. Just because somebody thinks what they think is right, it might be totally different to somebody else. And so to hear it from a different voice, please send us your kids' work. We will look at it and give you our opinion on it, and just to kind of give you some pointers to help us all grow. Because one thing Omar told me, which kind of shocked me from somebody that I thought was going to be my biggest competitor. He told me when we first met, he said, listen, iron sharpens iron, right? You get better, we get better, right? At the end of the day, it's not about how many plaques you have on your wall. It's about what your kids get out of your program. It's about your kids being able to tell stories and get paid $150,000 by Kevin O'Leary. That's really what it's about, right? So take our numbers down seriously, and feel free to text us anytime. I go to bed probably about 9:30, so I'll get you in the morning if you get me after. But please do, reach out to us. We are serious when we say this.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm a firm believer that iron sharpens iron. I love it when Zach's school does well. I tell him all the time, because then I pop it up in my classroom, I'm like, you guys gonna actually let them start taking this, And then I call Zach, I'm like, hey, it worked like a charm, man. Thanks a lot. It's the best, listen, it's not about the competition. we're an all boys school, so it helps out a lot. But my favorite story is Maria's former student. Her name is Grace King. She was one of the student runner-ups of the year for STN a couple years ago. And my former student, Philip Bootsma, they met at the state level and then at STN. And then Philip went to Florida State University. Grace went to University of Florida. They graduated. Grace got a job at Tennessee. And Philip reached out to Grace, said, hey, I'm looking for a job. And she went to bat for him at the station. A competing school. We were always, going up against each other, but they've built that bond. And now we got two 25-year-olds that helped each other out because what they met freshman year in high school. That is why this is awesome. That is why it's awesome. Forget about the competition. Forget about all that stuff. That kind of networking, they have such a leg up against everyone else because of this. Maria, true or not true, right?
True. And then we here in South Florida, our gym hosts something for us where we have our officers meet and that they network. So, and they get to know each other and they're friendly with each other. So
I encourage all of you to reach out to teachers, maybe in your district or in your state, and introduce them to STN. And if you want, send them our way. Send Zach and I would love for each one of you to just send me an email, be like, look, this teacher, has potential. Please reach out to them. And Zach and I will call them up and we'll mentor them. And we'll try to get them into this world. And that way you guys will have someone closer to home that makes you feel like, yeah, I'm not alone. And someone you could bounce ideas off, because to me, STN was back in the day. And for those of you that have been here for a while, it was too much cutthroat. It was too much, no, we got to win and show everyone we're the best. That's not what this is about anymore. And I've tried my hardest to kill that narrative, Yes, do I want my kids to do good? Absolutely. I want them to do well. But that doesn't mean I want your kids to do bad. I want your kids to do well too. And if I can help them do that, if we're real teachers, it doesn't matter what kids are getting better. It matters that they're all getting better. Bottom line. And I'll go to bat for any of you. If you need me to ever talk to an administrator and tell them how important your job is, I will happily do that. But I just want to build more of a community, more of a back and forth, so that even our students, if you're interested in collaborating with CCNN and to do some kind of project that's across states and stuff, call me up. One of the greatest things I ever was a part of was 2 years ago when we were going to Seattle, or when we were about to go to DC, was the collaborative documentary. And my kids worked together with kids from Orlando, from West Ranch in California, from Geneva High School in Chicago, and they put together a documentary. I got so inspired by that I just called teachers back then that I looked up to. So it was Karen McKimmey, it was Jason Santos, and Jennifer Ovidaves. And I said, my students have this idea called the camera, and they want to get a camera, one of our cameras, and film a story and then ship it to the next school. So it's going to be 4 schools shooting different ideas with one camera that was shipped around the country. And we did it. And it wasn't perfect, but it was awesome, because those 4 kids, when they met up at convention, they were like, yeah, we talked about each other so much on Zoom, and they got to meet each other. And it was just so awesome to see them. When's the last time somebody a student from California and a student from Miami, Florida was like buddy, and they still talk to each other today. So that's what it's about. So please, if you know anybody in your neighborhood that you think might be interested in this, send us their email, send us their phone number. If you guys want more help with whatever, listen, I'm willing to learn from anybody. So maybe by you asking me a question, I can get better. So I would love to help anyone else out. Are there any questions, anything you wanted to know about STN, about Zach's program, about my program? Feel free to ask away.
Right. Before you ask those questions, it segues us into this last point, which is normally on these teacher talks, we'll always open it up to the floor for open discussion, for a time for us to kind of learn from each other or ask any questions. Those Zoom calls that say that we're going to keep it to an hour and never do. Well, we are going to keep it to an hour. We will make sure it's a hard stop, and the conversations continue. These are just, think of these teacher talks as us just stoking the fire, right? But we are here later on, of course, throughout the week and the weekend here for you. So what do you have for us? What burning questions do you have that we can help you with in the last 8 minutes together?
I've got a question about the convention.
Yes, I knew that was going to come up.
Yeah, it was like, I know because we did the spring contest last year. So last year was our first year. I was just curious because the convention is going to be in Long Beach. So that's only 2 hours from us. How many kids do schools typically bring? Is it a contest there? I wasn't sure what actually takes place at the convention or how you sign up or who's involved or do you have to have the fall convention or the fall contest and spring contest in order to be invited to it? I just wasn't sure how it worked.
Every school is different. I cap my convention entries to 20. And by the way, I fundraise. Christina and I fundraise for like the whole year to raise enough money to try to cover the cost for our kids, right? And I tell the kids, you have to make our STN team. And by telling them that it's like a team they have to make, they work so hard throughout the year trying to get better on their own because they want to make that team. That's how we do it. I know, for example, Ben Barnholt in Whitney, in Rockland, California, Whitney High School, he brings like 65 kids. He like just whoever wants to come comes. So it's however, whatever you deem is appropriate for your program. Everybody's different.
Is it contests that take place there? Like they get prompts? We do Skills USA. I don't know if it's similar to that or.
No, Skills USA is very different. They will be given prompts. They compete on site and they have a certain amount of time to do it. So the convention kicks off with the Crazy 8 contest. You pick which Crazy 8 you want to join. And then the next day it starts splitting up into individuals with breakout sessions so they can learn from industry professionals. So that's how it works. And anybody can join and anybody can partake in it. So Sanders, you're asking over under in-person convention. I will tell you this is what Zach and I have been told, and we have been advocating for in-person convention, but we are they're going to be deciding very soon. We are going to be having a convention, whether it's going to be virtual or in person is going to be decided real soon. I know that if it is virtual, it's going to be completely different than it was last year. It's going to be a whole new experience. We're going to try to do like breakout rooms and hubs and around the country, but that doesn't mean that the in-person convention is off the table. They're still working on it right now. So there's going to be a convention in February. We should know very soon what kind of convention it is. Carlos is asking, he would love to collaborate with a lot of K-8 schools around the nation. So Carlos, if you're interested, put your email down there in the chat and have people reach out to you. Christy, Paul, and I teach middle school film and broadcast students. We'd love to collaborate. So Dina and Paul, Carlos, there you go. We got a little family going from middle school there. That's awesome. And if anyone else has anything, any questions, anything that's burning inside and wants to know.
Yep. Final thoughts here. About 4 minutes left, and then we'll end our session. What are we thinking? How's everybody's week going so far? We good?
David Roche wants to know if anyone's up here from the Northeast.
David,
Mike,
Dave's one of my good friends. Where's David? And I met him at convention.
I'm here. I'm just not turning my camera on because I'm in a dark apartment.
Hey, darling, how are you?
I'm good.
So Dave, you're from New York, right?
New York City, baby.
Awesome. Well, listen, I know the Yankees and the Red Sox don't get along, but maybe you and Mike can do something together with your kids because he's in Boston. So that would be listen, if a Yankees fan and a Red Sox fan can get along, then there's hope for everyone in STN.
Very true. Very true.
So it looks like a few people are popping their emails in. So if you want to pop your email into the chat, maybe we can kind of create not anything new. We don't want to put another group in our wheelhouse here, but just to kind of keep people collaborating with each other and reaching out. You can kind of see where all these people are from here. But I think it's awesome that we can do that. And again, the most powerful piece of STN is the community that it builds, not only with the teachers, but with the students. Because I know my students also follow some of Omar's kids and some of Ben's kids and Tom's kids. And we're just all over the place. And that's the main thing that we want to hit home here tonight. Got about 3 minutes left. Want to see if there's anything else. Anybody's got burning questions, ideas. We will have another teacher talk here soon. We'll send out the agenda. I think we posted a plan somewhere. Is that right?
The next one is going to be talking about challenge and how to get your program to succeed and to do well in it. Okay, I'm going to tell you some of the tips and tricks that I've learned, that I've passed along. Zach is going to speak about that, but I'm sure if all of us start talking about things, we'll all learn from each other, because that's what the whole point of this teacher talk is. I just don't want you guys, again, I said it a couple of times, you're not alone. You have people that are willing to help and to guide. And even if it's just to call me and be like, what would you do if your principal said this to you? Because I'm livid. I'll sit there and listen to you. Just go ahead. You can talk my ear off and let me, and just, vent if you have to, because I know it's hard and not a lot of people in your school might not understand what you're going through, but that's the whole point of this. But yeah, next one's going to be challenge and fall nationals and how, what you should be doing. So what I love to do is fall nationals is going to be released real soon. I get the prompts and I put them up, like the areas. I'm like, all right, I want 3 submissions into each one of these things. Who wants to do the pandemic blog? And kids will be like, I'll do it. I'm like, great, you're doing it, and that's one of the tricks we do. But we'll talk about more about that in October. And I just want to thank all of you for taking time out of your busy day. I know that you guys, being a teacher is not easy, especially these days, and all this virtual learning, but I really appreciate it. Thanks for giving Zach and I your time. And I really mean it from the bottom of my heart. Please just reach out, and you can text me, you can email me, and I will respond as quickly as possible. And I know Zach will as well.
I called you early this morning.
I replied.
I know I talked to you early this morning.
Again, guys.
He does pick up, guys. He does pick up.
I do.
Well, thank you all so much, seriously, for being here. It is almost 9 o'clock Eastern time. So thank you, everybody, for spending an hour of your night with us. And we look forward to seeing you all soon.